The rain battered the tin roof of the Divine Light Sanctuary, a sprawling church in the Ghanaian village of Kondo. Inside, a restless crowd filled the pews, their murmurs rising like a tide. They had come to see Prophet Ezekiel, known as Papa Noah, a man whose piercing eyes and commanding voice could unravel the deeper secrets of the soul, or so they believed. His reputation for divine revelations had drawn people from across the Volta region and beyond. But this Sunday, an uneasy tension hung in the air. A sudden cry pierced the murmurs. Sister Comfort, one of Papa Noah's lawyer aides, rushed to the altar, her face alight with fervor. "He's done it again," she shouted. "Papa has healed another soul." The congregation erupted in cheers as a man, supposedly blind, threw off his dark glasses and stumbled forward, praising God. Kwame, a reserved young man who had been attending for weeks, sat in the back row, his brow furrowed. He recognized the healed man from the village market, selling smoked fish just days ago, his eyes sharp and clear. Doubt gnawed at Kwame's heart, but who would listen to him? Papa Noah was a towering figure, revered and untouchable. To question him was to invite scorn, or worse. Years ago, Ezekiel had been a humble boy from a devout Christian family in Kondo. Raised to fear God and walk in truth, he led Bible studies and sang in the choir, his gentle spirit earning him the love of his small community. Many saw him as destined for greatness, a beacon of hope for their village church. But somewhere along his path, Ezekiel's light dimmed, drawn into shadows few could fathom. Struggling to grow his fledgling ministry, Ezekiel attended a lavish conference for pastors in Accra. There, he met influential preachers who seemed to wield an almost supernatural authority. One, Pastor Kofi, took him aside. "You're too pure, Ezekiel," he said. "To make an impact, you must be willing to pay a price." He spoke of a secret ritual, one that demanded a profound sacrifice. Though Ezekiel hesitated, the promise of power and influence was too tempting. That night, he joined a clandestine ceremony, offering something deeply personal, his ability to ever father children. As the chants of the gathered pastors filled the air, Ezekiel felt a dark energy settle over him, like a heavy cloak. When he returned to Kondo, everything changed. His sermons drew crowds, his prophecies stunned, and soon, Divine Light Sanctuary was the talk of Ghana. Ezekiel, now Papa Noah, amassed wealth and followers, his fame spreading like wildfire. But beneath his holy facade, a sinister truth lurked. Unknown to his flock, Ezekiel was no ordinary man. Through the ritual, he had forged a pact with an ancient force, a marine spirit from the depths of the Volta Lake. Every midnight, he would slip from his opulent villa on the village outskirts, gliding toward the lake's edge. There, under the moon's gaze, his human form would dissolve, scales shimmering as he transformed into a serpentine creature. Slithering into the water, he vanished into an underwater kingdom where he communed with other pastors bound to the same dark covenant. In this hidden realm, the Marine King, a towering figure with eyes like glowing embers, granted Ezekiel his powers, the ability to peer into lives, manipulate minds, and bend wheels. But the course was steep, his soul, his humanity, and the very essence of his being. Each visit to the lake strengthened his abilities but deepened his entanglement in the marine world's web. Back in the church, Ezekiel's followers saw only a holy man. His services were spectacles of miracles, healings, and revelations. To maintain control, he introduced strange practices. Each member received a mirror of destiny, which he claimed was blessed by God. Look into it daily, he instructed, and speak your desires. It will reveal your path to salvation. The congregation cherished these mirrors, unaware they were conduits to the marine kingdom, allowing Ezekiel to spy on their fears and secrets. One Sunday, Ezekiel called a young woman, Adua, to the altar. "Last night, you wept over your failing business, didn't you?" he said, his voice dripping with authority. Adua gasped, nodding as the crowd marveled. In truth, Ezekiel had used her mirror to summon her spirit the previous night, gleaning details to craft his divine revelation. He also sold anointed water and blessed oil at exorbitant prices, claiming they could heal ailments and bring wealth. Kwame watched as a struggling farmer parted with his last cedi for a vial of oil, his suspicions growing. During a park service, Ezekiel's gaze fell on Kofi, a young man who had returned from studying in London, accompanied by his mother. "Kofi, come forward," Ezekiel commanded. Hesitant but urged by his mother, Kofi approached. Ezekiel's eyes narrowed. "The Lord has shown me a grave danger," he declared. "Your life's flame is flickering. Without action, you won't see your 35th birthday, marriage, success, all will slip away." Kofi's heart raced. "What must I do, Papa?" he asked, voice trembling. Ezekiel placed a hand on his shoulder. "A sacrifice is needed, a pure white goat, strong and unblemished, to renew your life's flame." Seeing Kofi's hesitation, Ezekiel added, "Or you can sow a seed in its place. The church will handle the rest." Kofi's mother, frantic, urged him to comply. Reluctantly, Kofi wrote a hefty check, which Ezekiel accepted with a serene smile. Unknown to Kofi, the money funded Ezekiel's lavish new guest house, not a sacrifice. Kwame, watching from the shadows, saw the pattern, staged miracles, manipulative prophecies, and exorbitant demands. He resolved to uncover the truth, though fear gripped him. One night, driven by courage, he followed Ezekiel to the Volta Lake. Hiding in the reeds, he watched as Ezekiel chanted in an eerie tongue, his body transforming into a serpentine form before slipping into the water. Kwame's phone trembled in his hand as he recorded the surreal scene, his heart pounding with terror and disbelief. The next morning, Kwame returned to the church, his resolve hardened. Ezekiel, sensing a threat, fixed his gaze on Kwame during the service. "Kwame, come forward," he called, his voice smooth but menacing. "The Lord has shown me you carry a heavy burden. Let Papa Noah lift it." As Ezekiel's cold hand touched Kwame's forehead, a chill ran through him. "Be careful, my son," Ezekiel whispered. "Some truths are too dangerous to uncover." Undeterred, Kwame continued his mission, gathering testimonies, photos, and recordings. He overheard Ezekiel's aides laughing about mixing salt and sugar into anointed water jugs, confirming his suspicions. When he finally released his evidence to local media, the village, and soon the nation, was stunned. Reports exposed Ezekiel's staged healings, financial exploitation, and ties to dark forces. Congregants, once devoted, felt betrayed, their faith shaken by the revelation of Papa Noah's true nature. In a final address to the community, Kwame spoke with quiet strength. "Brothers and sisters, this ordeal teaches us to question, to seek truth beyond appearances. Not every prophet speaks for God, and not every church is a sanctuary. But there are genuine servants of God, humble and true, who guide us with love, not manipulation. Let us hold fast to discernment and faith." The divine light sanctuary crumbled, its pews empty, its mirrors discarded. Ezekiel vanished, some say back to the lake, never to be seen again. Kwame's courage had freed his village from a web of lies, but he knew the scars of deception would linger, a reminder to always seek the light of truth. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, kindly like, subscribe to my channel, comment your thoughts and share.